Imagine two fighters, both trained, both fast, both dangerous, but one of them is wearing the tech jacket. Here's what most people think happens. The suit blocks attacks, increases strength, makes the wearer stronger. That's true, but it's not really the full story. The scary part is what happens before the attack even lands. Human reaction time is fixed. Your brain processes sensory input, makes a decision, sends a signal down your nervous system, and your muscles contract. That entire chain takes roughly 200 milliseconds. Elite athletes with years of training can drop that to around 120 milliseconds. That sounds fast, until you realize that in high-speed combat, the kind that happens at superhuman scales, 120 milliseconds might as well be a lifetime. It's enough time for an opponent to land a killing blow. It's enough time for a defense to become irrelevant. So the tech jacket doesn't try to make your reaction time faster in the traditional sense. Instead, it removes you from the reaction chain entirely. Not completely, but enough. Your motor cortex, the part of your brain that commands movement, fires before you're consciously aware you've decided to move. Neuroscientists have known this for decades. You think you decide, but your brain has already committed to the action. The tech jacket reads that signal, the raw electrical pattern that your brain generates before you even know what you're going to do. And the moment it reads that intent, it predicts what comes next. Your arm is about to move left. The suit has already done the math necessary to execute the action faster than your muscles could ever move on their own. All of this happens before your arm has lifted an inch, which means you're not reacting to combat anymore. You're watching a system execute your intent faster than your body could comply.
Holy crap!
And here's where it gets psychological. After hours, days, maybe weeks of fighting with this system predicting your moves perfectly, something shifts in your brain. You stop feeling like the pilot. You start feeling like the passenger. The suit anticipates you so precisely that the distinction between you deciding and the suit executing becomes blurred. At that point, you have a problem, because you're no longer in control of your actions in the way you understand control. You're a consciousness riding along in a system that's executing your will faster than your will can even form. One of the most striking visual features of the tech jacket is the helmet, specifically the single enormous optical sensor dominating the front, just one massive, unnervingly smooth lens array. Human vision depends on binocular depth perception, two eyes, slightly different angles. Your brain stitches those images together to create a 3D map of space. Losing that should be a downgrade. Or is it? Because binocular vision is a biological compromise. It evolved because humans need to see at human-scale distances, 20 feet, 50 feet, long enough to spot a predator or navigate terrain. The tech jacket isn't interested in seeing in that way. It's interested in rendering. A single large lens gathers more photons than two smaller ones. Better low-light performance, multi-spectrum imaging, infrared, ultraviolet, thermal, electromagnetic signatures, all simultaneously, not just visible light. Synthetic depth reconstruction, time of flight sensing, LiDAR, phase shift modeling, depth without binocular parallax, 360-degree environmental stitching, multiple sensor feeds merged into one continuous battlefield model. So the user isn't looking at the world like a human, they're looking at a rendered simulation. Every object labeled, every velocity vector calculated, every heat signature tracked, every probable future position modeled. The suit shows you what the battlefield will be in the next few seconds, which means when combat starts, you're not reacting to reality, you're reacting to prediction. You're always ahead. and that information advantage is absolute. Armor is supposed to be rigid, strong, fixed, designed to resist force and absorb impact. The outer shell of the tech jacket looks like that. Clean plating, hard surfaces, traditional armor language. But underneath that appearance is something fundamentally different. Programmable matter. And that changes everything about damage. The tech jacket doesn't resist impact, it redistributes it. The outer layer uses self-healing polymers combined with phase-shifting metamaterials. Materials that can change stiffness, density, and structure based on external stress. When the suit is struck, it doesn't absorb the impact locally, it reacts instantly. The impact zone softens, surrounding regions stiffen. The force is spread across the entire structure in milliseconds. No stress concentration, no weak points, just a dynamic redistribution of energy across the full surface. Blunt force stops being a solution. Because there's no single point to break, you're no longer hitting armor, you're interacting with a system that refuses to stay in one physical state long enough to be damaged. Here's where everything should break. Because the tech jacket doesn't just move fast, it moves at relativistic speeds, or something close enough that normal physics stops being useful. And under real physics, that should instantly kill the wearer. Acceleration alone would destroy every organ in the body. So the suit introduces the only possible workaround: inertial dampening. The suit accelerates, but the body does not experience acceleration. Every atom of the wearer is pushed uniformly. No shear stress, no internal crushing, no differential forces. From inside the field, you don't feel movement, you feel stillness. From outside, you're crossing space at impossible speeds. Inside, you're stationary. That's the trick. Motion becomes externalized. You are no longer being moved through space in a biological sense. You are being carried inside a controlled distortion of physical law, which is why the suit doesn't just make high-speed travel possible, it makes it survivable. Human muscles are biological machinery: actin, myosin, sliding filaments, chemical energy into mechanical motion. It works, but it's slow, limited, and exhaustible. The tech jacket replaces all of it. Liquid metal artificial musculature, electrically responsive alloys that change structure based on current flow, apply signal to material, shifts phase to force is generated instantly. No biological delay, no fatigue curve, no energy depletion in the traditional sense, and more importantly, no sequential motion. A human punch is a chain reaction. Legs to hips, to torso, to arm, to fist. The tech jacket does it all at once. Every actuator fires simultaneously in a coordinated vector system. Force is not transferred through a chain, it is generated everywhere at the same time. That's why output scales beyond human limits. Not because it's stronger in one place, because it removes the entire concept of sequential movement. Now we hit the wall. Everything you've seen so far requires massive energy, processing, movement, field generation, self-repair, weapons, sensors, all of it. And yet there is no visible power source, no storage system large enough to account for the output, which leaves only theoretical answers. Zero-point energy extraction, vacuum energy as an infinite reservoir, or singularity-based power systems, controlled micro-black holes generating usable energy. None of these are remotely achievable with current human technology, but they share one implication. The tech jacket is not constrained by modern energy physics. It is operating on an entirely different energy architecture, which is why it never appears to run out, because it's not consuming energy the way we understand it. It's drawing from something fundamentally deeper. The tech jacket doesn't carry weapons, it becomes them. Forearms reshape into emitters, Chest nodes unfold into energy systems. Armor plates split into weapon arrays. But there is no fixed configuration. The suit is programmable matter. It reconfigures based on intent. The wearer thinks a solution, the suit builds it. Which means combat becomes unpredictable at a fundamental level. You are not fighting a person with a loadout, you are fighting a system that redesigns its own loadout in real time. Every attack you anticipate may no longer exist by the time it lands. But none of this comes free. Because the tech jacket doesn't just integrate with the body, it integrates with the mind. Permanent neural bonding means the boundary between suit and user dissolves over time. First, perception changes. Vision, hearing, spatial awareness, all filtered through the suit. Then cognition shifts. The suit predicts actions faster than conscious thought, so decision-making begins to defer to prediction. Then identity blurs. Actions feel less like "you did this" and more like "this happened through you." And finally, emotional distance emerges. Violence becomes procedural. Execution becomes mechanical. The question was never how the tech jacket works. The question is what it turns you into. Because this isn't armor. It isn't augmentation. It isn't even technology in the way we understand it. It is a conversion process. A system that takes a biological organism and overwrites its limitations, layer by layer, until what remains is something that still looks human, but no longer operates like one. And once that process stabilizes, there is no reversal. Not because the suit won't let go, but because there is nothing recognizable left to return to. But what happens when the suit stops serving the user and starts thinking for itself? Because compared to the tech jacket, the Blue Beetle Scarab is something far more dangerous. A living alien weapon with its own intelligence and its own agenda. But that's a topic for an entirely different video.